Hello everyone, my name is Ronald, and in this video we're going to go over how to add resources, training resources, and edit your training resources on the LEAD site. Now as you can see right now, I'm not on the live LEAD site. This is a staging site that I've created, a test site. To get to the actual live LEAD site, you'd go to lead.vl.church. Once you're on the LEAD site, you'll scroll down to the bottom and you'll see this add resource link. When you click it, it's going to take you to a dashboard where you can add and edit your resources. I'm already logged in, so it took me right to the dashboard. If you're not logged in, it will present you with a login screen first, and then you'll be sent here. As you can see, it's got a place that's going to show you all your resources that you've already added, as well as a add resource button down here. So we're going to go over adding a new resource before we go over into editing. So I'm going to click the button and you'll be presented with this form. Each resource needs a title. Subtitles are there for you to go more in depth. Kind of think of them as like subtitles to a sermon series that Pastor Dwayne, so like Grace and Truth is the main title and his subtitles would be under here. Kind of think of it like that. Resource description is required. Definitely describe your resource, what it's about, what you're trying to get them to learn. If this is a resource that has both documents and videos, you can sit there and say, for video 1, reference these 3 documents. For video 2, reference these other 2 documents. So give them instructions on what goes with what. Also, if you want them to do something else after they're finished with this resource, like let's say you want them to check out everything in the worship environment category on the website, the LEAD website here, tell them to go ahead and do that after they're done watching this resource. Resource description goes here. Every resource is going to need an image. So I've got an image here for us. It says here each image needs to be a JPEG and 600 by 600 pixels. The square is very important. Make sure it's a square 600 by 600 pixel image. Otherwise the resource LEAD site would kind of look funky on the front end. Alright, so now you want to make sure whatever department or area you're under, you're going to select that here. So if you're in accounting, you'll select accounting. Or if you're over the life groups and you're adding a life group resource, you would select life groups. So I'm going to go ahead and select accounting for this demonstration. And you'll notice when I select accounting, that accounting's subcategories goes up. And here's worship. We do have, so it changes based off of whatever your department is. So we're going to go ahead and go back to accounting, and then you're going to select whatever subcategories this go over. So let's say this is an Expensify YouTube playlist, and you're making an Expensify resource on the LEAD site. I would click Expensify, and I would click its primary or its parent course, accounting software. And as you can notice, this can go under multiple subcategories. So let's say if this is also important to budgeting, you can select budgeting. So you're able to add it to as many subcategories as you need to, but if you do a second tier category, make sure to select its parent. And then you need to figure out what kind of resource type it is. So some people will only have videos. Some people may only have documents, or you might have both. So you select based on what you need. If you select video only, you'll be presented with a YouTube playlist field. To get a YouTube playlist ID, you would go to the playlist that you've created. And we have another video on how to create, edit, and update your playlists. To get to your playlist that you want to, you go to your channel. You go to Customize Channel. You hit Playlists. And then you're going to find the playlist that you want to go into. So I'm going to go into this Grace and Truth one right here. And you'll be presented with a page looking like this. We're just looking at this URL right here. And if you look, it says /playlist (list equals). Everything after the equals, you need a copy. This is your playlist ID. This is what goes in this field right here. If you if you accidentally like copy the whole URL, if you add a couple extra characters on it, it's not going to work, it'll break. And actually I'll show that to you real quick. So I added a couple extra characters in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. It'll take it. It doesn't know that it's extra characters. But when you go to view, oh no, something went wrong. So we'll know if we didn't get the correct ID. Whenever you submit a resource, you're not going to see it immediately. You are so what happens when you submit your resource? It's going to come to the Digital Reach team for review. Make sure links aren't broken, things like that. We'll quality check it, and then we'll approve it, and then it will now show up live on the site. So now that we've gone over how to add a new resource, let's go ahead and go into editing a resource. Let's say you've added a resource and 6 months later you need to let's say you need to add a video to your resource. You wouldn't do it on the lead site. You would actually do it in YouTube. You would go and add it to your playlist there. But let's say you need to add a new document, or let's say a document that you've already added has been updated. You would want to make those changes here. And to do that, you would click on edit of the whatever playlist or resource that was. Once you go into the edit form, everything's going to be pre-populated with that resource's information. So if you needed to adjust the description, you can adjust it here. Technically, if you need to change out the image, that's easy to do here. You just click that, choose a new image, and add that. It's taking a little while to upload. All right, and so you can also adjust any subcategories that you need. And then down here is where you can reorder your documents. So if you're reordering let's say you did some reordering of your YouTube playlist that's embedded here, and you wanted your documents to kind of match. Let's say a document that was in video 1 is now, let's say it's down to video 3. You can move it down and kind of have it in order. So you just click on the directional thing here and it does that. If you need to delete a resource or a document, you do that. And then of course, once you're happy with everything, you hit update. So this is where you would make any changes that live on the lead site. Again, if it's a video change, that would be on YouTube and you're good to go. Another thing that you can do from your dashboard, if you need to, let's say a resource is no longer needed at all, there is a delete option. And it will tell you, are you sure you want to do this, just in case you accidentally hit it. And if you hit OK again, it'll say it's deleting and then it'll disappear. And that's how to add and edit and update resources on the lead site. And one last thing before we leave, if you are creating a new resource or editing a resource and you realize that you need a new subcategory added to your categories here. Let's say you're in accounting and you're adding a brand new type of training that none of these really fall under. Let's say it's something under budgeting. You would create a support ticket that would come straight to us and say, hey, I need to add how to add something to a new system under budgeting. You would let us know what that is, and we would add it for you, and then we'll let you know when it's available. So you'd have to take a pause from adding that specific resource until we got that added for you. If you have any other questions, let us know. Thank you and have a great day.